Welcome to this channel. This channel is going to be Exposing Men 2025. Um, I'm going to try to create um, a social platform like where you can follow more of that content and like rules and all that other shit. For like Exposing Men 2025, but this is going to be kind of like a series or a channel, whatever. Exposing kind of men's true nature of who they are, the ways they do it, um, the things they, tactics, manipulation, lying, all of it, whatever the fuck y'all be, all of it, of not being genuine themselves, right? Basically, um, I think I hope I'm not like skipping everything. I'm trying to make sure like I'm making sure like, but it's basically exposing men's true nature about like how they hide their sexuality, how they are jealous of women, like how they really toward how they feel towards each other, how they feel towards society, the standards and everything, um, um, how they feel towards, um, I guess children and queer people. I don't know. I guess that's also too. I'm trying my best to remember what. I mean, I have everything I want to talk about in the video down, but I'm trying to like summarize the video, like the idea of the channel gonna be, because this is all new. But I guess a friend of mine, we were like talking, and close friend of mine, and we're talking, and we're just talking about like how like how this world is and everything, and we're just kind of like going details, and we're sharing like you know our experiences and like living in society. And she was like, "Why the fuck you don't do a fucking series on like on this shit? Like, y'all know, like how what the things men are afraid of saying, or like being honest about, and like not sharing, and kind of taking that all out on women because they're scared to really express how they really truly feel because they don't want to be perceived as weak or like different or ostracized. So all of it, all the norm, whatever. And just like create a channel and like talk about all of the shit, like the things men lie about, and like the things they do to cover up their identity, or their double lives, and like the way they cheat and all of that stuff, and how they use things that would be typically considered normal men shit, but it's kind of really not. If that makes sense, like um, I'll go in detail when I mean by that. When I mean like typical men shit, like or typical man thing, whatever. Um, Also, I think this will be the platform when I like have the more longer versions of videos, and then like TikTok and like I don't know, the Red Note, whatever the fucking apps they got out here. I will kind of create like more shortened videos, shortened what's it called, like reels and shit, and of things like people would consider the norm, but it's of like men doing typical men shit, but it's really not, or like what the perception of masculinity to women is, but it's really not. Like what I mean by that, when I say not, meaning like what has been socially acceptable, but to other men, it's really like toxic. So like, um, but yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm getting straight into the video. Um, this one, we're gonna do a discussion, a topic on how a lot of men use barbershop talk, um, or the barbershop, like the place you cut your hair, as a way to cheat or be on the DL. So this is gonna be the first video of this channel that we're gonna start with, and I think will be a good example when I mean like what typically women would consider typical men shit, um, and how it has like a lot of meanings behind it, like double, like a lot of meanings. When I mean meanings, like another way for them to like get away with a lot of shit, lying, manipulating, all that other shit. So, Um, the first one we're gonna do first. We're gonna like the first one I have my um on the list is. Oh, let me hold on. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Ooh, let me make sure. Mm, um, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna explain my personal experience, and then I'm gonna go in details about like things that is kind of normal. Okay, some men don't know this, some do. Okay, like some women are. I'm not gonna say all. There's a little bit of women know, but majority of women don't really know. So I'm gonna kind of go in details and try to break this down in a way that y'all can understand. So like it doesn't come off as like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so men, you when they go get haircuts, right? Barbershop, right? And it they're around other men, right? They when there's no women around, there's no queer people around, there's no um children around. Most likely if there's kids around, um they're like they either they're not aware. I mean, if they are aware, but they don't really comprehend like other younger men, they're not really comprehending like um the things men are you like saying fully until they get older. So there's conversations they have in the barbershop. Um, they have towards society, and it's just a way. I'm gonna just say basically it's like a place where they go like and have conversations, talk about the things they feeling and going through and stuff with their homeboys, right? And also cut their hair and whatever, talk about sports and whatever. But what women don't know about like that whole barbershop scene, like, and that's why I learned to fucking cut my hair, do my own hair. Because this gonna sound crazy, but they use the barbershop as a way to find new boyfriends, like, and deal lovers, and like talk about how they cheat on their wives and like find new girlfriends and shit. Like that sounds fucking crazy, but I'm telling you the truth. Like they use the barbershop is a basically it's like a double meaning. So like I'm going to go cut my hair, but I'm going to also find a new boyfriend. I'm going to go find a new deal lover. I'm gonna like that's a hub of finding new other dudes go to the barbershop to find other dudes who are DL or find other dudes they know that is on the DL. That could either be their homeboy or the barber or the barber that cuts his hair, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's really interesting how like that like in that um space is not something that's like vocalized openly. It's more like a how do I describe it? It's like it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like I know how to explain it, but I'm trying to explain it where women can understand. You know, like it's like I'm speaking in like I'm speaking like let's say if we're having a conversation about sports, right? Or like we're having a conversation about because I'm trying to make women understand like the whole barbershop scene. Like when like let's say we're having a conversation about like women, right? Like oh like da, 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 like let's say like we're talking about like women we like or we're married to or whatever the fuck whatever like a shit you got on your house, right? They can be having a whole conversation, and that's one of the points I have on the list because I have like I think 6 or 7, I think 6 to 8. They use conversations like sports or they talking about women as a way to talk about like them fucking on the low or like them um talking about a spot they're gonna go to like go fuck with other dudes or like on some like threesome shit or like like and that sound crazy, but like it took me a while to like really understood all of this myself too because when I was younger and I would go, I would never understood like how I'm trying to explain this when you go to the barbershop, it's very uncomfortable. I'm gonna just say that it's very uncomfortable. Like I don't women don't experience this because they're never in the barbershop, so like unless like she really cool with the home like guys and they're willing to tell you. I don't know, but when you're in the barbershop and like it's just guys, like other guys with other guys they know, they the way the conversation is very ego driven, but it's also kind of like I'm trying to explain this in a simple way. It's kind of like their way of airing out their dirty laundries. Like it's like they air out their dirty laundries in very deceptive ways. Like they will speak in like only among them they know. Like among each other they know. They like kind of like I'm trying to like they came up with a way of using words and have double meanings with it. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Like there's like they'll use like I for example like sports or like they'll use like or they create up their little own terms to like create ways to communicate with each other about things they're doing behind the scenes or like they're doing or they're into, if that makes sense. And that's why for me I never understood like the whole like barbershop shit because it was like in my mind, I'm like, oh, like maybe like when I was younger, I'm saying when I was younger, I'm like, oh, this is like some grown up like I'm obviously I was younger, so like I'm not aware like teenage. I'm like, oh, this is some grown up shit. Maybe like there's some slangs and shit like they making up with, and like in like old people slangs or like like ways of them being hip to things. Because me being a bisexual man, I don't. There's certain at that time I didn't come out, so I'm just gonna say this right. There's things like you kind of conform. Like you gotta conform. Like if you like when you're around other men, you kind of have to conform to what they're doing and how they're like operating, so they don't like kind of other you. Because that's how men be doing. Men are fucking followers. So there's certain things you're just not. They're not gonna tell you if they don't feel like you fit in with them, right? Or they're not gonna tell you a lot of things if you don't like be a part of the group or clique. You know what I'm saying? So um, when going in those spaces when I was younger, there were things that I never understood until I got older and I came to like realizing by putting two together and stuff like that, you know? Um and I think that was recently, um I think not recently, but I say a couple of years as I'm because I'm older now, adult age now, right? Um there's like things I always question like for example, what is something because I'm trying to get back in the topic, but I'm trying to like um use good examples, right? Um but there would be like conversations about queer people, like queer openly gay, bisexual men, Um there'll be conversations about those in a very negative light, right? And in my mind, I'm like when I was younger, I'm thinking like when I was younger, I was like I don't see gay, bisexual men or like sexually fluid people like as a negative thing at that time. Like when I was younger, I was like, because they never like I don't see like if you not harming nobody, I don't think it's negative. And you know what I'm saying? Like if you're not going around harming people, it's not negative. But in the barbershop scenes, those conversations a lot are like deemed negative, or anybody they know that's queer, or anybody they know that's um like in the LGBT community, right? That's the way of how they communicate, right? They will have conversations about these group of people, or if there's somebody in there, how it would be, um, unless they were cool with them or they know them, it was fine. But if they didn't know them or they weren't cool with them, they tend to be like homophobic or like on some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but me kind of being in those scenes like in the barbershop and hearing how like friends or older adults communicate with each other as time progressed. I started to realize a lot of things I was starting to like put two together like as I got older is that most of the men that were DL will go there as a way to find other lovers via either um friends like their own barber putting them onto other DL dudes or other DL dudes without or even sometimes the barbers don't even know. It could be just like two other dudes that are cool with each other going to the barbershop places and checking out other dudes and hitting on them too. Like that type of shit. I didn't know like when I'm like as I'm getting older, I'm realizing like how like the DL culture is very like very like secretive like and they speak in way in codes and shit and how like all of this is entwined to like of being like a whole sector. Like so it's a double meaning. So like they're going to get haircuts, but they're also like going to like find other dudes they can fuck on or like smash or like on the side because they can't be themselves because it's not acceptable. It's, among black people. I'm gonna say black people, but like I'm gonna say in general, society in general, like men in general, it's not socially acceptable to be open. So that's why when there's conversations about queer people and they tend to be homophobic, I never understood it. But then now as I got older, I understood why because it was not acceptable to be open as a man to like other men, so they had to be discreet about it, and they use barbershop talks or or they use excuses like, "Oh, I'm going to the barbershop. I'm going to hang out with my friends," or like that, as a way to like speak in codes to like fuck with other dudes on the low and like and have whole girlfriends and wives and shit. So that's why I'd be like, you need to be careful when you hear a lot of dudes be like, oh, I'm going to the barbershop. Oh, I'm going to go get my hair cut. Oh, I'm going to hang out with the homeboys at the barbershop. Yeah, he might go get his hair cut. He might not be lying about that, but he's also going to probably go find other dudes, or he's probably going, using that as the barbershop as an excuse to go fuck on. And he may not even go there. He may just go to his friend's house and just go fuck too. They may use the barbershop as a way to like go fuck on other dudes on the low because they can't be open about it. And it's crazy because like I'm gonna dissect everything and like go at the end of the video I'm gonna explain like why men cannot like be open in a sense like really I mean obviously we know but like what I'm saying details why like and why they feel such a strong um why they may envy women in some regards about like in that aspect because and how like women have the ability to like be free so they're scared of being judged. I'm gonna get all of that. I'm gonna get into the end of the video. So, okay, so yeah, but the barbershop can have a double meaning. So it could be him getting a haircut, but also go finding that's a place where they can go find other dudes to like go fuck on or be on the DL or make friends like like have a side boyfriend, have a boyfriend or side boyfriend, or boyfriend on the low. Okay, so or go cheat or their homeboys is putting them on to other girls so they go cheat on. So because a lot of men are actually gay or bisexual. A lot of men are gay or bisexual, and I'm gonna get into all that. So all right, um, so another one is they use the barbershop as a place. The next point too is they use going to the barbershop as a way to hang out with their homeboys. So like even though like he may like, oh I'm going to go to the barbershop, that can be just his way of saying I'm going to go hang out with my homeboys. Like that's another way of him saying I'm gonna go hang out with my homeboys. A lot of this didn't click to me until I got older. Like when I got 21, 22, and I started to realize like I always wonder like why are men are not out about like I'm saying like in my head I'm like why are men not out really um and be honest about their sexuality. But like now it clicked to me like because they have their own system of how they're doing it, and I just like I'm like oh holy shit like so but yeah they use the word or they use I'm going to the barbershop as a way to hang out with their homeboy. So like if they're like oh babe I'm going to the barbershop to hang out with the homeboys I'm going to the barbershop da 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 da, but he's kind of using that the barbershop as a way to distract you from like he's actually going to his homeboy's house to go fuck or to go hang out with and do whatever like on the low with him, you know, or he's going to go meet up with somebody to have a sexual encounter or whatever. So yeah, they use barbershop to like something that y'all would consider man shit as a way to throw you off to what he really wants to do. So you wouldn't suspect anything, if that makes sense. Like, so they're using things like regular man shit, like y'all like typical man shit, like y'all would like, oh, I'm going to the auto shop. I'm going to go drink with my like, or I'm going to go to the bar, like stuff like that. Like they use typical what women would in their head typically think man shit would do, or predominantly what men would be doing. Men will use that as a way to deflect women from realizing their true sexuality or their ways of getting um or cheating on, or like cheating on them with, or cheating them with somebody else, or like or um yeah, you get the gist of it. So like yeah, like they use things that y'all would not consider abnormal as a way to like deflect you off of what they're really trying to do. So yeah, it's crazy. That is fucking crazy. Yeah. So yeah, when you hear barbershop or things like that, probably has a double meaning. Like, or he's trying, or he's just using that as a way to deflect you off of what he's really trying to do. You know, behind the scenes without you knowing, or you knowing his true, authentic self. Um, I think I got onto this one. Is always wanting to hang out with his. Oh, that sorry. Always wanting to. This is bullet point three. Oh my god, it's 21 minutes. Okay, this is bullet point three. I'm trying to get through this fast. Always wanting to hang out with his barber. Like if he's always mentioning his barber, like, oh, my barber's like this, my barber's like that. Like he's always calling his barber on the phone with his barber. Like he's spending more time with his barber than fucking you. Like, and I'm not literally, but oh, that both of that too, time wise and energy wise in the bedroom. If he's spending more time with like his barber, he's always mentioning his barber, like, oh, my barber's like cool, like I know him for a long time, da 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 da, like that. Again, back to like I said, typical man shit that y'all would typically expect men to be bonding with, or spaces that men bond with. Y'all would never bat an eye, like, oh, like he could never do that with his barber. He could never like use his barber as a way to like deflect me from realizing they actually have like a secret sexual encounter with each other. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Like men are using things that y'all would never bat an eye to throw y'all off about what they truly want to do with other men. And I constantly, back to my point, a lot of men are gay or bisexual. Majority of men are bisexual specifically. They're not gonna tell y'all that. They gonna sit here and lie and scam and do all that other shit because they don't want y'all to really know sexually what they like. Like, and some of them like men more, to be with more sense, or some of them are more fluid. And since we live in a society that's homophobic and men can't really express that openly, they feel like women would judge and shame them. So that's why they use ways like hanging out with their like using barbershop talks, or their barber, or um hanging out with their homeboys as a way to like deflect y'all from what they're really doing behind the scenes. So yeah, that's a thing. You can't. I'm gonna say, like, if you see him constantly like talk about his barber, calling on the phone, be on the phone with his barber, like, oh, I'm talking about my barber, like da 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 da, like that. You see them hanging out a lot. You see them buying gifts with each other. Like you see them spending. Like he's showing. You see the energy's very different between you and his barber. Like you see him showing more love and affection to his barber than you. And I'm not saying men can't show love to each other. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like you see the energy's kind of different. Like the way he loves his barber, it's kind of more in love than fucking you. Like in love with you. Then I'm like, yeah, they're probably fucking. 9 out of 10, they're probably fucking. So yeah, we're gonna go to the next list. Um, mm, they also, this is also a way of them, this can also be tied into like not just even sexual, this is going to be also a way for them to um lying and manipulating too. So it, this, the barbershop talk, them going to the barbershop can be also a way for them to talk about women and how they don't fucking like y'all, and how y'all nag and complain and and give them headaches and all this type of shit. So yeah, not only that, barbershops is also where a lot of a hub for other men to find other men, but also a way for them to vent about how they really don't fucking like women at all, too. So that's, I think, point number four. Um, yeah, they use that space and place as a way to like really vent about how they truly feel about women. And then I gotta tell y'all, um, this can also be, the barbershop place can be also a way for them to gaslight and escape responsibilities if they have kids, or um, them avoiding go to work, or them doing their chores or the things they need to do in the house. Like they're like, oh, I'm gonna go to the barbershop and go chill. Da, da, da. I don't want to do that. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm stressed out. I'm gonna go to the barbershop. So yeah, some of them can use this bullet point five. Some of them can gaslight y'all into, they can gaslight to escape responsibilities they need to do as a man. Like if they're with you, to go and hang out with their homeboys, and and not care about what you feel, or what you want them to do in the house, or like to hang out, like for y'all to go hang out with each other, or um or go on a romantic date. I don't know, like shit that partners do. Like they will gaslight y'all into thinking, gaslight y'all in escaping doing responsibilities, or spending quality time with you. So yeah. Um Another one is um um this one is, I think, I don't know what bullet point. I don't know, six or seven, eight. I don't know. But this, another one is being homophobic. Very big. I You need to pay close fucking attention. Very fucking big. Very big, big, big. You need to. Any man that's homophobic and he's saying he's fucking straight. He's saying he's fucking straight. 9 out of 10. If you, let me tell you, and this is women out there. Any man that's homophobic, if you're straight and you like women, I don't fucking care. You should not be threatened by another man liking another man. You should not be that fragile, insecure enough to be worried about what another man. You wouldn't care. You wouldn't care because you'd be focused on liking women. If you're a man and you're homophobic, and I understand a lot of men have internalized homophobia, so that could also be it too, right? But if you're that adamant about being homophobic by somebody liking another man, or the topic, or queer people being around you, right? Or it being brought up, like, so if like you have friends that are queer, like gay or bisexual, right? And they're around you, men, because they're not gonna do much with women because they're okay with women being queer, but they have a problem with men being queer because a lot of men, one, they're scared to admit that they actually want to explore that. Two, a lot of them are either, gay or bisexual, and they're afraid of women knowing that. So their way of throwing people off is by being homophobic. So you're like, oh, he a man, like he against it, like he against that on him. Like no, he could be doing that. That's a way for you not to really pinpoint exactly on you being on his ass about, oh, he probably is, like, and he's not letting you know. So when you see people deflect, or you see people always um afraid of something that has nothing to do with them, 9 out of 10, that's who they are, like naturally. So you see him constantly bringing it up. You see him, especially when you go to public spaces. You see the energy he brings when he's around queer people who are openly living their truth. You notice how he's like agitated or uncomfortable, or like scared to look, right? Pay close attention to that. Um, yeah, a lot of them tend to snitch on themselves, and even if you just listen to how they be talking, and just bring it up to him, like, just like, how do you feel about queer people? Like, if I were to like bring my gay friends around, like, how would you feel? Just listen, like, listen to your intuition, one, and pay attention to his body language, his energy. You notice it's very like, you know, very like, oh, la, 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 la. He's quick to deflect. or I'm not. You know what I'm saying? He's not like, oh, I don't have an issue. I don't have a problem with them. Like, I don't care. I can kill less. Like, they're around me as long as they don't disrespect my boundaries. Like, you notice that he's very very like becomes very fragile or insecure in his sexuality, or who he is as a person. Then that should let you know he's struggling with his sexuality, and he's probably gay or bisexual. Because a lot of men are conditioned, like again, a lot of men are conditioned to see that as a negative thing, and majority of them, I say 90% of them are have explored it, but they're scared to really come in terms with it because they know that they don't want nobody knowing and feeling ostracized or ridiculed, right? Or the last one is using the barbershop as a way to communicate to their homeboys the next time they're gonna fuck or meet up. That is crazy. Like I said, I be telling you, something that they normalize. Barbershop, a place where men go and converse and talk and hang out, all that. Some men who are trying to cover up who they what they sexually into, what they sexually like, or they on the down low, right? They use things that women would typically not bat an eye to throw them off. So sometimes they can have a whole conversation with their homeboys. Let me, for example, they can have a conversation with their homeboys, and they talk about, oh, we're gonna go to the barbershop, at 8 p.m. Da 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 da. But between them two, that could be a whole their language between them two. That's their code way of saying to each other like, oh, we're gonna go fuck. Like we're gonna fuck at so and so time at your house at your place, and you down, and then they down and they dab each other up. That sound fucking yo, that sounds fucking crazy. But I'm telling you the truth. There is this sound. They're not gonna like if you tell men that, like, I'm sorry, if you were to like go to your man and tell him this, I don't tell him though. Don't tell him. Just watch. If you feel in your gut and you feel like he lying about something to you, or he not really being authentic to himself, you feel like he always deflecting, he's always getting you confused about who really he is and how he moves. Pay attention to how he moves with his homeboys. Pay attention to words he uses to describe you. What pay attention to the uses of words he uses to go when he wants to do something, like, and if he uses it constantly, you know what I'm saying? Like, he uses the barbershop, or it's like my homeboy's house, or like my friend's house, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pay attention to that, because that can have there's a double meaning between that. You thinking it's friend, but it can mean they're fucking, like, oh, we're gonna like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, men use things that women would never bat an eye to as a way to communicate each other when they're gonna meet up and fuck and have their like booty call time, pretty much. So like, or sexual encounter, like with a woman or man. It could be, and this can be vice versa. So it could be a woman and it could be a man. Like, so you don't know. Like, he could say that with his friends to go with to go hook up with some strippers or some shit, like, or they say that just to go have encounters with dudes. So it can be vice versa. So yeah, women definitely have been lied to a lot about a lot of shit about what men be doing. I'm gonna really also like, the next video is gonna be about like the whole idea of masculinity and it equate to being straight. That's a lie too. That's not fucking true. You being masculine does not correlate to you being straight. I'm gonna go in the video and do that because a lot of y'all be thinking, oh, he's masculine, that means he's straight. No, that's not fucking true. So I'm gonna definitely break that down and show y'all there's a clear difference between being having masculine energy and being sexually attracted. I'm sorry, having masculine energy and then being sexually attracted to man or woman. Like, or being fluid. Like, if that makes sense. Being gay, bisexual, sexually fluid, or lesbian, whatever. Like, whatever it is. Like, there's a clear difference. Like, so you showing up with certain energy doesn't determine your sexuality. Y'all need to get that shit out your head. And there's no look to being gay too. So get that shit out your head too. So I'm gonna go in details on that in the next video. But yeah, I hope this barbershop clears up a lot of things that y'all may be feeling about y'all little boyfriend or your little side piece or side boy or a little peace thing, whatever the fuck y'all be calling it each other these days. I hope this kind of clears up a lot of the feelings y'all may have them escaping or using it as escape as a way to like deflect you. Because a lot of the barbershop place, you would think it's a place to go cut hair, but it has a lot of meanings. Men use places to where men congregate as a way to like have meanings of what they gonna do with each other, or how they're gonna hang out, or how they're gonna have meet up with certain people and do a lot of shit, a lot of shit. So yeah, but um this I'm gonna just say as in general, I'm gonna say this for every video I create. This society that this version of patriarchy that men are living in, they're unhappy, they don't fucking like it. um they feel like they're not capable to show up authentically themselves, and a lot of men are ostracized if they don't fit that norm or structure of men. Men look at them crazy, and men look at them less than, and all of that. And this is why men have to use lying, manipulation, all types of ways to deflect about their true nature. And it's crazy that I have to say that, but they uh, take all their frustration out on women, because when they see women able to be themselves, especially even in a society that's suppressing them, and women still not giving a fuck and still doing what they want to do and choosing how they want to show up, men take that frustration out on women, and women think that's him being assertive and dominance when it's not. He's just abusing you. That's him abusing you, full out abusing you. Him taking his frustration about how he wants to truly show up and who he wants to truly be or express himself, and taking it on you is not masculinity. That's called him being fucking toxic as shit. That's toxic masculinity. That is not masculinity. So get that shit out your head too. Him abusing you, him taking out his frustration on you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever, right? That's abuse. It's all form of abuse. So that is not masculinity. That is not masculinity at all. That's toxic masculinity. If he's not able to tell you as a woman how he feels and why he wants to show up and what he wants and how he wants to be, and he's using other ways and methods to deceive you and trick you and lie to you and harm you, that's not a healthy functioning man. It's not. That's not. You got it twisted. He's being toxic to you. He's being toxic towards you, and you have normalized that as a way of, oh, that's him being a man. No, there's that. So yeah, like, no, it's not. So I want women to really realize and wake up, like, this is a lot of things is not what you seem it is. It's not. It's really not. Like, a lot of the things that you're experiencing, going through, is because men are refusing to rebel against a society that they're not happy in. And at the end of the day, so, but yeah, that's all. That's all I gotta say. You, if you have anything you want to comment in the video, comment about this video, comment below, like it, subscribe it, share it, whatever, do whatever I want to do. But I'm gonna create more of this series about things that men have typically normalized into tricking women into believing that's masculine shit, but it has a lot of meanings behind it. So yeah, I think that's it. But take care.